Alrighty, in this one, it is another exhibition match, but it is Rebecca Hawkins, and she is going to be taking on Chazz, the Ojamas. So Rebecca Hawkins taking on Chazz and the Ojamas. Oh. There we go, so they were setting up the lobby. There we are, so Chazz and Becca. So some new decks have been made. After this one, we do have Tanya against Esperoba. Now, yes, Tanya is probably going to be way too strong for Battle City, but the opponents will get harder and harder. We did see that with Jaden as well. There is also Serenity Wheeler's deck available to us now to view. It's going to be a Duelist Kingdom run. It's not a powerful deck. Raphael's deck is going to be redesigned and have something added to it because it's just isn't functional enough. Ojama Blue set down by Chazz, maybe looking to utilize that effect to draw more Ojamas from his deck. He's got Ojama Duo and Ojama Trio straight off the bat, so he's gonna flood Becca's entire field with Ojama tokens. So Chazz can basically set up as he likes here. He's got Armed Dragon level 5 there as well. Alright, 5 Ojama tokens on Becca's side of the field. Probably not the start that she would have wanted. Becca. Oh, token Thanksgiving! Okay, that's going to be 8, 16, 24, 32. That's going to be that would have been 4,000 life points. But we need to take off 1,500. Okay, so Becca now at 11,500 life points. Token Thanksgiving. Would you believe it? Chazz has basically handed her 4,000 life points. She lost 1,500 from the effects. He's just drawn Fissure. So, yes, Raphael's one. He did go against Weevil, but Raphael, we have an idea for his deck, and that is to add the Dark Scorpion monsters. So Raphael's deck has issues. It's very difficult to use, it's very difficult to summon monsters, and his chances of drawing a brick hand are just way too high. So the Dark Scorpion monsters, there's only 5 of them. They still sort of fit the aesthetic and the vibe of Raphael. I'm talking Dark Scorpion, Meanie the Thorn, Dark Scorpion, Gorg the Strong. There's one called Chick the Trap Remover, or Cliff the Trap Remover, I think. Dark Scorpion, Chick the Yellow, and I think there's Dark Scorpion Burglars as well. There is one magic card and one trap card that go with those monsters as well, but we're going to add them to Raphael's deck. And it will build him a deck that has more usable monsters, a little bit more strength, and potentially a bit more functionality. So we should see some better duels from Raphael. Bandit Keith's deck has been upgraded. It's been upgraded to include the ABC and the XYZs. That's what that's basically been built around. I know Kaiba did use the XYZs. Did Kaiba use the ABC? I know in the real world cards came out in a Kaiba themed deck that had the ABCs, but I don't remember Kaiba actually using them in the show, but I could be wrong. But yes, Bandit Keith's deck has been designed around them, which is very much Bandit Keith as well, using Union machines and all that, as Armed Dragon level 7 is on the field. Pegasus's deck has been upgraded. It's all Toon monsters. I don't know how well that will function. We'll have to watch that in action. As Injection Fairy Lily has come to the field, that will be enough to get over the Armed Dragon level 7. And Becca does have a bit more influx of life points to play with here as well. Okay. Over to comments. Let me turn that filter off. Okay. Okay, now the original Weevil and Raphael match. There was an issue with that match as well. I did see in one of the comments, but but we've had to unlist that video because the last match had the wrong video file. So, but what we're going to do, we're going to start Raphael from scratch again. His original deck that we were using against Weevil, it just isn't working. It's the dual quality just isn't there, so we're going to add the Dark Scorpion and we're going to try again with Raphael, but all in due time. It's all in a I can't remember who it was that put that comment down for it, because the comment has moved because I've unpublished the video. Anyway, thanks whoever it was who said that. It brought that to attention. But yes, Raphael's deck, it will be revamped as Fire Princess and Injection Fairy Lily have swept the field. There was a Monster Reborn used as well on Becca. May have missed that. I was looking down. Let's start with Mr. Hoodie-Coo, RDK, Herzane and Belowski are my favourites, so I want to see Belowski, Moki Smackdown deck run, the Gauntlet, Duelist Kingdom or a GX tournament. The Moki ones, I don't have access to all the Moki cards. Some of them were made after this game came out. I only have 6 different Moki cards to work with. The original Mokis and the Moki King, and I guess Moki Smackdown. But that's all I have for a deck, so the Moki deck would have to be combined with something else to function as a deck, but in due time. It could go with some other fairy types as well. I might even have to see that duel with Belowski to see what other cards he used. But he was one of the characters in GX, so we will try and make him a deck in due time as well, as Chazz is running out of life points in this first match. Luster Dragon 2 is on the field as well. Made way for a Injection Fairy Lily, which is a bold move, but it may pay off because Chazz doesn't have anything else. He's been jumped early, and Becca may pick this one up. And Mr. Hoodie-Hoo RDK says, always put Gymnast in defense mode. Is that for Alexis deck? Gymnast, is that the 800? Attacker defense one? I can't remember the card. I'm not that familiar with Alexis's cards, but that may be a tip for the players. As Mystical Space Typhoon is activated, hits a random card, well, chosen, but Chazz is beaten. He is beaten convincingly in this first match. We are doing best of 3 for this one, not best of 5. Chazz's duels can go for a long time. Okay, now you have seen the please reconnect the controller and the awkward cut there in the video. That's a switch coming off the dock and the other one going on, because so we didn't have to make Chazz's deck on the other switch. Saxpack Abs says, wow, Chazz crushed Jaden in that first match. How about a best of attributes league? Fire, water, wind, light, dark, and any others I can't remember. There's only 6 in Yu-Gi-Oh. Fire, water, wind, light, dark, earth is the other one. That is an idea, an attribute. There's a lot of different combinations you could make for each attribute as well, but it is an idea. Could do like best fire versus water deck, could be like a Pokemon battle, although water types would normally win that, but it's not a bad starting hand for Becca. She plays stuffed animal first. That may not have been the best decision, but still, Witch and Sangan are still there. She draws polymerization. She can pull Sandwich. Can't pull Sandwich if it's destroyed, as Upstart Goblin, if Witch or Sangan is destroyed. Upstart Goblin is played for Chazz, who plays a defense. Sax Pack Abs also says, also the Season 1 arc of Shadow Riders. I remember Night Shroud and his Red Eyes deck. I haven't made a deck for Atticus yet. That is coming. Designing one for Cyrus as well. And yes, I did say, I think, already. We did make a deck for Serenity. We'll see that one next. Serenity's deck is based around the card she used in her match against Leicester from the Big Five. Was it Leicester? He had Machine King as his deck lead. I think it was Leicester. Anyway, doesn't matter. But those cards, along with... Serenity didn't use a lot of cards in that duel, so I added cards that suit Serenity's character. All-Seeing White Tiger was one of them. A few just basic animal cards. Something that suits Serenity's character. Moon Wolfie says... Oh, hang on. No, I missed one. Crimson Maelstrom. Amazoness monsters don't need Monster Reborn. They're just that strong with their own staple cards. Very true. The Amazoness deck, it's going to plow through probably the first half of Battle City. When it comes up against the stronger opponents, Arcana, Mako, Bakura, against Bakura, they could struggle. Especially if Fiend Sanctuary gets drawn. That will put them in for a bit of a loop, unless they draw Amazoness Sage, of course, which can destroy magic and traps. Alright, Stuffed Animal doing some field work. Oh, polymerization for Chazz. That will be an Ojama. Okay. Moon Wolfie says, Chazz and Jaden, they started off as rivals, with Chazz wanting to beat the Slifer Slacker, but they do become allies of sorts. The Ojama are underrated and can be very good when used right, but they probably wouldn't do well against Battle City. Chazz's BC deck will need to be a pre-Ojama deck, but Ojama Pajama, Ojama Party along with King and Knight can make things difficult for Jaden, since it takes away the monster spots he needs to get certain fusions out. Chazz's Ojama deck is very good as long as you draw the right cards first. Ojama Pajama is the real ace card in that deck. There's Tribute to the Doomed. That's going to get rid of... Could have used Stop Defense there, but maybe better to use Stop Defense on the 3000 defense, since that is a bit higher. Either card will still do the job here. Okay. Moonwolfie also says Tanya kicking Loomis and Umbra's butt. I wonder how well Jaden and Becca would do against Tanya. Jaden, with his ability to fuse, with Tanya's ability to get her strong monsters out, that could be a very hard and fast match. And Becca, a bit more laid back. If you're a bit too laid back against the Amazoness monsters, they will build up forces very quick, but we'll see eventually, very soon. We'll be able to see Jaden and Becca take on Tanya and the Amazoness. Marcus Wilbrand says, I'm honestly thinking that Jaden in the show isn't such a great duelist. E-Heroes is just a good deck in the era. Yeah, that is true from a point of view. Playing decks, like if you use Duelist Kingdom era decks against Yu-Gi-Oh! GX decks, you see the gulf in class between them, as Chazz has gone with Ojama Country and Stop Defense will no longer work. Becca may have been better playing them around the opposite way, but I see what she was going for there. Ojama King is to the field and it's going to have 3000 attack points. Stop Defense. No longer a help here for Becca. She does still have Witch and Sangan, so she can pull a few monsters. Chazz has lost a lot of life points though. Okay, Crimson Maelstrom says Chazz's deck had a lot of advantages over Jaden's earlier in Season 1. Chazz, he's I will have to make him his original GX deck soon as well, because I don't want him throwing the Ojamas at the early GX decks. I want all the early GX decks against each other. We'll put one together for Crowler. The Respawn Switch has had all of the Battle City and Duelist Kingdom decks wiped, so I think there's still about 8 empty slots for new decks. Crowler is coming. Bastion, Cyrus, as well Zane. They're all in the process of being created. So the GX season might actually come a little bit earlier than thought. We still got to, and we'll save one for the big five. I think we'll run a big five series one at a time. So we'll go through all 5 of them, but them going like, or maybe they can have a duel, one duel per week. That'll take 16 weeks to get through them all though. We'll get there in the end. Mirror Force is activated. There goes Ojama King. That is 3,000 attack points. That is now in the bin for Chazz. He's lost both his fusions. He's got no more of them left. He would have to use a Monster Reborn or something to get them back, I believe, if you can Monster Reborn them. That is a massive loss for Chazz, but he had to go in for the attack. He has to attack to win. He's just throwing the card that goes with Ojama King. I guess it's in the graveyard. So that face down for Chazz is likely an Ojama. And Chazz may be running out of defense here. There's Final Destiny. And Becca now has played Stop Defense. It has put a 1000 attack into defense mode, but Chazz will lose. Well, I mean, he hasn't got much life points left. So Becca really going for it here. Ojama Blue will allow Chazz to draw 2 more cards from his deck. Marcus Fulbrand says, if you want to do a non-Ojama Chazz deck, maybe look up his manga deck. Seems that he has mostly a dragon deck there. Also the alphabet monsters may be fun for Chazz. He used all from V to Z, I think. Another option as well, of course, with Chazz. That's what I like about the GX era. Their decks are like flexible. Like they didn't just stick with like the one deck throughout the whole thing. They added new cards. The GX decks, they're very flexible decks. We can make more than one combination for each character almost. Except for a few. Chumley, probably not. But these decks already been made. We can see some more matches with Chum in the future at some point as well, which would be nice. There's Ojama match that is played, so Chazz will probably pull an Ojama and an armed dragon with that effect. Marcus Wilbrand also says about the part of GX decks evolving. I'm not sure any of them really got stronger. Zane switching from Cyber to Cyber Dark was just bad. Jaden switching from E-Hero to Neo-Spacian I can't really rate, but does not feel better overall. Chazz is always gonna Chazz it up. Making 3 different archetypes work in one deck is a lot, to be honest. Does Alexis's deck change through the series, and does Cyrus's deck change through the series? I don't know. I really need to rewatch the series again. If only I had like a hyperbolic time chamber. Would make things easier. Armed Dragon level 5 is summoned from Chazz after he dropped Armed Dragon level 3 to the field from its special summon. And there goes Sangan. Alright, so what will Sangan go to pull here? I should mention as well, the Nintendo Switch, both of them actually, are doing the same problem, but on the right side, on the controller, the controller's sensor isn't connecting very well. It's happened on both switches, but the right hand side, sometimes you press the A button and it doesn't work, and it is causing some problems for misclicks, which is actually really driving us insane. The Nintendo Switch 2 is on its way. I am considering getting one, as Ojama tokens have come to the field with the effect of, was that Ojama Trio? Yeah. Rebecca's got 3,500 life points and she has just played Remove Trap. Ojama Pajama looks like is going to be gone. Ojama Pajama looks like it will activate its effect one more time. So both players getting short on points. Becca's in a much better spot though. Waylon Hastings says, yes, so pumped to see this. Hope you've been well, my man. Yeah, pretty good. You know what's amazing? I haven't had so much in terms of being well, like physically well. I have not had so much as a simple common flu since before I left for Japan, and that was May 2023. It's been nearly 2 years since I've been sick, which is like bizarre. I mean, I don't really get, even before then, I didn't really get sick that often, but now that I think about it, I got like a slight flu before I left for Japan, and I was like, well, that was lucky because I didn't want to get it during Japan. I got it just before, and then I recovered, and then went to Japan, had pretty much the best time ever. Japan is amazing. If you have enough money to go to Japan and you have a vacation coming up and you haven't decided on the destination, you could do a lot worse in Japan. Absolutely amazing country. I still see some posts and stuff along socials with the people that I went with the or the people that I met during the tour group, because I went with the tour group. One of the people from the group posted a photo outside the Meiji Jingu, the Azalea Gardens place. That was a fun day. I ended up getting lost in the Azalea Forest, and the tour guide Catherine, she was really good as well. But like she said to us, like, don't feel you have to be restricted to the group. You can run off and do your own thing whenever you want. And sure enough, I went off and took a detour, went through the Azalea Forest and got lost. Catherine called me and was like, where are you? And I'm like, I have no idea. But I ended up finding my way out eventually. Then went up to the Meiji Jingu temple, found the rest of the group. Fun time. Emperor Pikachu says, I'm very proud of Chum. It was a great series. That was for his Duelist Kingdom run. It was fun watching Chum playing that. And Emperor Pikachu also says, I'm proud of Jaden. I'm playing Legends Arceus. Never played the whole game because I didn't like it at first, but I'm giving it another try. Same with me with Arceus Legends. I wasn't fond of it when I first tried it. But as soon as you get up to where you get into like the swampy fields with what's its name? Is that? I think it starts with a U. I was going to say Ursula, but no, that's the Little Mermaid. Urshifu. What's it called? But after you break away from that first open area part, it's the one where it like sniffs the ground. I can't remember its name, but Arceus Legends is actually really good after you get through like the first little area part and you can go into like some newer areas. The game splits open a bit. But Arceus Legends, I need to play that again as well. I've never finished it either. It's a massive game in terms of like doing all the quests, like studying all the Pokemon and stuff. And I think it was the way it seems really unbalanced as well. You can be like level 30 and you can lose like half your health from like a level 10 using tackle. The game's very strange with how its battle mechanics work as well. But no, Arceus Legends, it is a very good game. And Becca down to 2200 life points, and oh dear, Chazz is starting to take field here. Becca left the tokens in defense mode. They've got 0 defense and she's losing life points. Oh, there's Giant Soldier of Stone. And Becca, oh, she goes for Scapegoat. Alright, Giant Soldier of Stone is a 2000 defense. Ajama Country is on the field. So attack and defense will be flipped. Giant Soldier of Stone could be 2000 attack. Oh, I wonder if Becca might have overlooked that. It's easy to do. And we haven't used Becca's deck that much lately, so our human players may be a little bit out of touch with her deck as well. and Chazz's deck as well. There's a lot of cards running through the human mind when we do stuff like this. Sealess DC says Amazon deck seems to be too overpowered for any of the Battle City decks. Its Year of Construction cards that are in it are just power creeped out of all the decks from Battle City. It probably is, but Jaden did lose 3 matches. I reckon they could lose to Bakura. It will be interesting to see because the Battle City runs will get progressively harder. They will face stronger opponents as the season determined. So they're playing the easier ones first, as Giant Soldier of Stone. Becca put it in defense. I just noticed that then. I just looked up from the comments. She put it in defense. Now that's an oversight. That is a massive oversight. It would have been 2,000 attacks. She would have been able to attack with it. Oh, is that a game throw? She does still have Final Destiny, and she can... well, she's going to have to play it, otherwise she's going to lose. Oh, it's a massive error. It's just human error. The Giant Soldier of Stone, it would have been 2,000 attack. Now Becca has activated Final Destiny. This will discard 5 cards from her hand and will destroy every card on the field. Now Becca has got no cards left in her hand. Now Chazz has 5 in hand, but what does he have left? He's lost his Armed Dragon. He's just lost his Ojama Country. He's lost his Armed Dragons. He's lost his fusions. Does Chazz have anything to attack with? It was still an error by Becca, but it may have actually turned out to be the better move. You never know. It may actually still work. Chazz has only got 6 cards in his deck. He's milled most of them with Ojama Pajama. Dark Lord Marie is now in Becca's graveyard, and she's gaining 200 life points back. Skalengal is just flipped up. And, polymerization. Now she's flipped it up, but those face downs, they would be Ojamas. And Chazz may not, he can't fuse them together because he's already used both his fusions. Chazz does have a Monster Reborn, but I haven't seen him play it yet. He may not have drawn it yet. Oh, there may be a twist in this match. After all, Dark Lord Marie, I mean, if Becca played Giant Soldier of Stone, she may have been able to attack her way to victory, but on the other hand, if Chazz then drew Monster Reborn, Chazz may have got the Armed Dragon back and maybe could have done... and Becca may have played some more cards on the field and not been able to activate Final Destiny. You never know. Maybe it was the better move, although it's hard to say. As Dark Lord Marie's effect, Becca's gaining life points back and she's just drawn Luster Dragon. It's 1900. She may get away with it. Ring of Magnetism is activated, so now if Chazz wants to attack, he's going to have to attack the defense of Skalengal. It's only it's 0 defense, but I believe Chazz may only have Ojamas left. There's Wabaku. So no battle damage for Chazz this turn. Ojama Red is flipped up. 1000 defense, but no attack. Chazz may be done. He may not actually have enough to attack back with here. Turn change. I may have got turn changes incorrect because the turn change, the red and the blue, is flipped around because the switches have been flipped on the dock. There's Dark Lord Marie's effect. Marie, the Fallen One, known in the anime. Another Witch of the Black Forest is now available to Becca. That Final Destiny card has really done the damage. That may have been all that Chazz had left. There's another Ojama Blue. Chazz has pulled both his Ojamas now. Which means Chazz that last card, that will have to be his Monster Reborn. Because he hasn't played it yet, he would have to have it in his hand now. Now, if he plays a Monster Reborn, it's not even going to matter. Oh, there it is. It's not even going to matter because Ring of Magnetism is equipped to Skullengle. Chazz won't be able to do anything with his attack. And Chazz is now out of cards. He's had his Monster Reborn must have been on the bottom of his deck. Arm Dragon activates its effect. Okay, it could destroy Skullengle. Oh, but it won't matter. Oh no. He's gone for Luster Dragon, but even so it wouldn't matter because 11 and 24 would be 1300. There's Ojama Red. Even if you got rid of Skullengle, Chazz with Ojama, with Arm Dragon level 5's effect, he still wouldn't have been able to do enough life point damage. He's just throwing Ojamas down now for the hell of it. That must be... He won't be able to do it. There's Dispel. Oh my word, he hasn't gone for Ring of Magnetism. That's possible. That may have been a misclick. What's happening with the switch control is if you press A, the control part will like jiggle in the holder and can sometimes rapid press A, like unintentionally. Even so, even if Ring of Magnetism was destroyed, Chazz still wouldn't have been able to actually get rid of Becca's life points. She would have drawn another monster from the effect of Witch of the Black Forest says Shadow Ghoul. Either way, Chazz wouldn't have been able to take out Becca's life points. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But that's what's happening with the switch, and I reckon that's what's happened there, because it went for the middle. It's a default selection. With the switch's controls, the A buttons will just rapid fire when you have the switch in hand. It's becoming a real issue. Both of them are on their way out. So, touch wood they don't break, because then we won't be able to do any duels. So fingers crossed that nothing does go, and Chazz is going to run out of cards. Well, Becca made hard work of it, but she does get the win in the end. 2-0. Becca wins. Chazz defeated. And who would have thought it? I would have thought Chazz's Ojamas would have got the win there, but anything can happen in Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll go to Serenity's duel after this one as well. Thanks for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care, farewell.